Being pansexual myself, I've been saved by the LGBTQ plus community. Thank you Attitude Awards, and thank you so much Emanike. Being pansexual myself, I've been saved by the LGBTQ plus community, quite literally. I was bullied quite badly in school and also at university, and in both times it was the community that saved my life. I have a song called Chosen Family on the latest record, and that is my honest, most loving song that I wanted to give to the community who are not just my friends, but now who I consider my family. Remember, there is no timeline to be authentically you, so live your best life. And I love you. Thank you, Pixels. Hi, I'm Rina Sawayama. Hit like and subscribe to see more from Attitude.